Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind. Last time you'll remember we created our character, Mr. Funky Student, and we were running around the town of Seyda Neen, getting acclimated. I'm going to continue this. This is also going to be sort of a newbie video. We're going to go to our first dungeon and do the last few quests in this town, and then after that I'm going to probably do a little bit of world traveling that may or may not be in this video. I believe it'll probably be in the next one. But after that we're going to kind of break from that and just do our own thing. So here is this character alone. She is going to give us a lot of good information, and I definitely recommend talking to her as a first-time player, because she basically goes over every single thing that you need to know in this game. She'll talk about all these different towns. She'll kind of explain the political situation. You'll talk to her about all the different factions, everything. So I'm going to do that really quickly. She's a scout and journeyman of the blades, so she's a blade. Here's Balmora. She gives us directions and she updates our journal. She's saying, yeah, okay, it's a large settlement on Vardenfell after Vivek. Good roads lead here. From here, there's Caldera. Okay, so let's look at Vardenfell. Vardenfell district. So all of this is basically just acclimating you to your setting. Like this, the Vardenfell is the name of the island you're in. It's the main island in Morrowind. So Morrowind is actually a province that encompasses more than just Vardenfell. So you see, it's the district, and the island is the primary setting of this game. So, you know, here's like the geography, inner sea, there's the Patamaic Ocean, here's the Sea of Ghosts. I'm not going to read all this to you guys. You can read it here. It'll be up here if you want. And, you know, I'm just going to go just methodically down this list. Caldera. It's a recently chartered imperial town and mining corporation north of Balmora on the road to Alderaan. We will be going to Caldera a lot. I am a big fan of Caldera. Ebonheart is another place we'll be going a lot, and we'll probably actually go. I'm likely to go from here. I'm going to probably go to Vivek first, and then I'm going to go to Caldera, and then I'm going to go to Ebonheart, and we'll stay in Ebonheart for a while. I'm not going to continue with the main quest for quite a while, really. I don't know when I'll start that. But that's part of the cool thing in this game, is you can just kind of choose to ignore the main quest if you want. In fact, there's ways to totally bypass it and get straight to the end game if you know what you're doing. And I might go over that, but not anytime soon. So we've heard a lot about this town, Gilead. Newly charted imperial village on the road north from Vivek to Balmora. So this is actually a town that you cannot get to via fast travel at all. So in order to get there, you have to actually walk there. It's quite a concept. Okay, so we also have a little bit about Vivek. This is the kind of massive city in this game. It's kind of like it's huge. It's made up of these weird cantons, and essentially like they're floating little. It's kind of like Venice. It's pretty awesome. And you know, let's talk to you about the latest rumors. Tax collector's still missing. Okay, travel light, run like a Kagudi. Don't go poking in holes unless you know what you're doing. Common sense. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so here we go again. Morrowind. Northeasternmost province of the Tamrielic Empire. Bounded on the north and east by ocean, on the west by Skyrim, on the southwest by Cyrodiil, and on the south by the Black Marsh. Solstheim is the island up to the northeast, which I'll show you on the map, and that's basically Blood Moon. And it serves as the sort of basis for Skyrim, which is a later game. So clicking on all this stuff again, I forget what I clicked on already. Terrible place, I've heard. There's a boat from Cool if you have any reason to go. Now this is basically Blood Moon. That's how you get there. You go to Cool and you just take a boat. It's pretty easy. Alright, so for some reason I'm having difficulty getting her to say everything, so I'll just click on everything really quickly. Okay, here we go. My trade. Geography of Vardenfell and the geographic regions. That's what we wanted. Okay. Island of Vardenfell surrounded by inland sea. Vardenfell is known for its giant volcano, Red Mountain, and its foul ash wastes. geographic regions. Vardenfell has 9 regions, each with their own plants and terrain. They're called the Ascadian Isles, the Ashlands, Azur's Coast, the Bitter Coast, the Grayslands, Molag Amur, Red Mountain, West Gash, and Sheogorad. Bitter Coast, western coast of Vardenfell from Seyda Neen north to Narmak is called the Bitter Coast. Sheogorad is island, and the countless nearby smaller islands and barren rocks are desolate wilderness from the main island of Vardenfell into the Sea of Ghosts. That is kind of a big thing in this game. There's a lot of kind of wasteland. We'll be going through a lot of wasteland in this game. It's not really that pleasant really to walk around, but it's kind of this is a volcanic island, so that's important to keep in mind. Okay, Narmak, we heard a little bit about that before. My trade. Okay, Seyda Neen. Lighthouse of Seyda Neen is a beacon to mariners throughout the inner sea. That's good to know. Specific place. Okay, yeah. You can get a copy of Guide to Vardenfell if we want maps. That actually might be a good idea. Let's do that. So she taught us a little bit.
Speak up.
That's
what is this
useful.
about?
If you wish to talk,
The
it is
voices
really
are a
no
little
trouble
loud.
at all.
Turn it down a tiny bit. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's look at what Errol's got here. So he's got Guide to Vardenfell. I see Lives of the Saints. I don't see Guide to Vardenfell anywhere. Sylvia Intervention. You know what? We're going to actually buy an Sylvia Intervention scroll. And I want to see if they have Divine Intervention. They don't. Divine Intervention is the best. It's going to be really useful later, but we can't get it. So we'll use our mercantile skill to good effect and save a little bit of money. Sometimes he'll refuse the offer. Every time he refuses an offer, this disposition will go down by 1, but it's not permanent, so anytime you can just do this and it'll go back. Generally I'll hit, even if he refuses the offer, I'll still kind of force him to do it. So it doesn't really matter too much. Okay. Now we're going to head back out into the world. There's other people up there. They all train in different things. If you're interested, just look up there. I'm not that interested in training at the moment. Effects are loud. That's because of this mastermind, I bet. Alright. Anyway. This is too low. We want some effects. Okay, sorry about that. Jeez. Having issues. Alright, she just
What is this about?
kind of is a jerk. Not important. Okay, anytime you can also take mushrooms. These are just easy ways to get a little bit of money. Let's go over here. Here's this lighthouse. Oh yeah, so we do have that one quest. And that we can always check in here. Fargoth's hiding place. So he wants to keep an eye on him from top the lighthouse and watch where he goes at night. So it's the middle of the day, so we won't do that now. But when nightfall comes, we'll want to go up to the top of the lighthouse and watch Fargoth. So, you know, we can explore this little area over here. Here's some mushrooms. Do a little bit of exploration. There's islands over there you can swim to or water walk to. I definitely recommend water walking. That's a very good spell in this game, and the reason is because, like, if you look at the world map, there's a ton of little islands everywhere, all over the place, and so you actually will be going into the water quite a lot in this game. And the water is really annoying because anytime you set foot in the water, you get attacked by these stupid enemies called slaughterfish. They're not hard, but they're just really annoying, and they just keep coming. So it's a pain to do, and if you get water walking, it's much better. And I'm going over here for a very specific reason. If we jump over here, you can get a little bit of treasure hidden in this stump. We need to maneuver correctly so that we can actually get it. But there's a, free silverware cup and some free gold, 25 gold right there. And I believe the same holds true for this log over here if I can ever get up there. Yeah, let's jump over here. Aha. An enchanted axe, the iron shard axe. Let's take it. And this flower, the draggletail, gives you this coda flower. It's pretty useful. They sell for a decent amount. And over here is our first enemy, a mud crab. Okay, so we killed him. Pretty easy. We have a really high long blade skill and a decent weapon, so they're no problem. They're the weakest enemies in the entire game. Closely tied with an enemy called the Scrib. And I'm just doing a little bit of farming here just because early game money is nice. So there's a million ways to make money in this game. Money is really not that hard to come by, especially later. And I'll show again, like I've showed you one, probably my favorite trick to getting money, but there's another really good way. It involves a merchant called Creeper, and Creeper is basically this. You never think of him as a merchant, but he's essentially like a merchant, a super merchant. He buys everything for its full value, which no other merchant in the game does. Well, there's one other merchant.
You want something?
Yeah.
But Creeper is actually pretty convenient to get to. He's based in Caldera. Okay, let's go over here. Let's explore a little bit around the town. Let's do a little bit of exploration. So they mentioned that this area was the Bitter Coast region. The Bitter Coast runs from here to Gnarmok, which is right here. And talking to her put a bunch of places onto our map, so that's really useful. So if we wanted to walk places, we could. Pelagiad's not very far. Balmora is pretty far. I don't recommend walking to Balmora right away. I mean, you could. There's really not that much harm in doing it, but yeah, it's just Silt Striders are just very cheap. Not really worth. So right there I blocked. I just have a natural decent block skill. So it happens automatically. You don't right click or anything like that. It's over here. So we see some of these things. These are called Scribs. They're harmless. They won't attack you unless you attack them first. I'm gonna attack them. And they can paralyze you. These things are less harmless. They're called Quama Foragers. They're really weak, but they're annoying because they'll attack you. Oh, what's this over here? A dead guy. Well, let's kill him with this thing first. Yes, like I said, these things will paralyze you, so they're actually capable of doing a fair amount of damage to you if you are surrounded. Like if you're not just fighting one. Like right now, this is this stupid thing. Come on! Come on. I'm not gonna really die from this. There's no chance, but it's just a frustrating thing. Okay, so what's the deal with this guy? Processus Vitellius. We were told about this guy. He's the tax collector. Journal has been updated. Okay, so on this guy, we find his clothes, tax record, and 200 gold. Now, when you always have the option to dispose of corpse, that will take all of the stuff. Generally, I don't really like to dispose of corpses because I like to remember like what I killed. I just find it to be fun. But disposing of corpses is kind of nice because it just cleans up the game world essentially. Like eventually you'll start to see like tons of dudes just dead everywhere. Battling this mud crab. So just continuing on. Okay, so let's look at our journal entry. I found a corpse while traveling near Seyda Neen. It seems to be the corpse of one Processus Vitellius based on some items found in his body. He's carrying a parchment with what look like tax records. He has a 200 gold on his body, probably taxes he'd collected. We know he's a tax collector because they were saying that he had been missing. Let's read this tax record. So Errol owed 450 drakes, he paid it. Dur and Thyrillus, 200 drakes paid. Eldifire was lacking. So we're gonna look and see who has the motive to kill this guy. So Vidunius Nucius hadn't paid his taxes. This guy Foreign Gilnith, who owed 225 drakes, hadn't paid. Finemouth 54. Fargoth hadn't paid his 111. It's actually a very significant tax. So, looks like our prime suspects right now are Eldafar, Fargoth, Finemouth, Foreign Gilness, and Vedundus Nuxius. And just judging by the amount, I'd pick this guy first, but, well, we'll see. I guess the most logical person to talk to would be, the people in, like, a guard or something. Let's report this to the guard. Murder possesses Chillis. Found his body, huh? Well, it's up to you what to do with that information. I suppose that Secosius Ergala in the Census and Exes office would be one to tell if that's your inclination.
I'm listening. Yes?
Okay, so let's ask her. Yeah, she says the exact same thing. Okay.
How interesting.
So let's go talk to him. And this is the guy. We're going back into the building that we ransacked at the beginning of the game. Hey there, buddy.
Want some?
So this guy actually comes in handy again. He's the guy that generated our character. What's up?
Can you ask your question quickly?
Yeah. Murdered? What a waste. Processus was a good man. I had been wondering why we hadn't heard from him in a few days. Still, these are dangerous times we live in, and these sorts of things will happen. Did you happen to find the tax money he'd collected? Hate to be so callous, but I do have a job to do. And definitely give him this money. You did? How odd that he was murdered but not robbed. Your honesty is appreciated. I can tell you that. I won't forget this, funky student. In fact, if you're looking for some money for yourself, I'd like to see the murderer of Processus punished. Killing an emperor's tax collector is punishable by death. Find his murderer, bring him to justice, and the Census and Exes office will pay you 500 septims. So, yeah. If you give him this $200 or 200 gold that you just find on the guy, he will let you do this extra little part of this mission and pay us 500 as opposed to just having 200. You could lie to him and just keep the 200, but that's not the good thing. And one thing I forgot to mention, I'm going to be playing this character as basically a me first kind of character. I'm going to be trying to do the right thing, but if I can get a better reward, no matter what I'm willing to go to any lengths to get a better reward. So, you know, I have no qualms of killing somebody if I get money, like a good reward out of it. So that's kind of how I'm going to be playing this character. Okay. So let's talk to some people.
You have my attention.
Someone finally got him, huh? Well, it's no surprise, I suppose. No one likes a tax collector, especially one who flaunts his wealth while taking our hard-earned cash. Only one who could stomach him was always Stavera over in the lighthouse. The two of them spent some time together. Shame, really. She seemed like a nice woman, huh? So let's go to the lighthouse and see what's going on. Speaking of the lighthouse, it's almost night. There's the sun.
I'm listening.
Okay, so we're solving a murder here in this sleepy little town. Alright. Tavere Verdrano. Well, hello, funky student. Okay, what's her deal? She's a commoner. Processus murdered? No! Tell me it's not so. He was the gentlest man I've ever met. He and I have become so close in the past few months. I don't know what I'll do without him. I've only seen him get angry once or twice and never raised a hand to anyone. This is so sad, so what about that? Well, not even angry, I suppose. I saw him arguing once with Foreign Gilness about his taxes. He thought Processus had been levying too much and skimming off the top for himself. Ridiculous. Processus wouldn't have done such a thing. I'm sure of it. Please find out what happened, friend, and if you find out what became of his ring, it would ease my heart. Let's talk to him about that. I gave him the ring many months ago, and it was dear to him. I would like it to remember him by. So we can get this ring for him. And so let's go find this guy, Foreign Gilness. I hadn't seen him walking around.
What is this regarding Redguard?
So I think he's probably in a house. So let's go look for him. It's almost nighttime, so we're gonna, once it's become nighttime, we'll go back to the lighthouse and do Fargoth's quest. How you doing?
What is this about?
She says the exact same thing. Idril Rathrion's shack. Foreign Gilness shack. How you doing? Murderer Processus Vitilis. That fetcher. You're damn right. I did him in, and a good thing too. He was skimming a load of money from all us honest people, overcharging us on our taxes and keeping the difference for himself. He was always flaunting his money around, showing it off his new clothes and jewels. So I killed the bastard and left his body out there to rot with all his ill-begotten gold still on it. So this guy just basically copped to killing a guy. And we have a 500 gold bounty. So if I say this, I won't get to get the bounty. Well, let's listen to what he has to say. I'll say, you know, I believe you, whatever. Well, it's the truth. They've all been gouging us for years. The whole office is corrupt, I tell you. One of these days they'll get exposed, I swear it. Here, though, this was his ring. Looks like his woman gave it to him. She should probably have it. She wasn't to blame in all this. So, you know, now I'm, like, my journal says I'm chill, but I'm going to kill this guy because he murdered him and I get a reward. So I'm doing, you know, double-handed business. Oh, well, really, I should have fought him later. All right, because my fatigue is out. He's able to hit me for damage. Like I get knocked down, and he can punch me for a little bit of damage. But he is unarmed and easy to kill, so we're gonna do it. So now that he's dead, I can use this house as my own. So he was a murderer, and I was legally sanctioned to kill him, so I did. And I'm taking every single thing he owns and gonna sell it at Errol's. And this cot, you can use it as a boat. Now I get this skill book, my mercantile skill increased. I'm gonna take this book, basket, you know, just every single thing he owns, even if it's not that useful. Which, you know, it's not. Barrel. Okay. Cool. Alright. Great. So, let's go report on that gentleman's death to our friend in the Census and Exes office. Oh, Secosius Ergala. What would I do without you?
I must be going, so if you could make it quick.
I heard you'd been asking around about his murder. I'm glad to see this matter brought to its completion. Here's your reward, funky student. Good to see there's still some citizens who understand their loyalty to our emperor. So we just got 500 gold. And we are pretty duplicitous. We told that guy we wouldn't do much, then we killed him anyway. But yeah, we do. We're the riddle master. I mean, you can't expect me to be all that.
Yes?
Alright, so why am I going over here? Didn't mean to. Meant to go to the lighthouse. Let's do that. I'll teach you a few other things over there. Okay. So, hello. Let's give you the ring. Oh, you found the ring I gave him. Thank you so much, funky student. It's good to have something to remember him by, though. I'll never see him again. Here, take this. He usually traveled a couple when he was doing. So we just got some health potions for that. Those will be good. Always useful. So let's go up to the top of this lighthouse here. And we can take that lantern. Also take that lantern. And here's a 300 gold book up here. I would definitely recommend getting it. Take all this stuff. She's not up here, right? Remember? So we can just take everything. So now we're at the top of the lighthouse. And we need to wait until it's night. It's still not night. We have a good view. But what you do is there's a button you can hit and you can wait. So I'm just going to wait a couple hours up here. Now it's nighttime. So we can start watching for Fargoth up here. So that's a guard over there. Looks to me, it's hard to see, but there's a guy over there walking around. And he's got a torch. So what's he up to? Okay. He's moving over here. So, I guess while I do this quest, I'll briefly discuss a few things. So, resting. So I actually have an older version of this game. I bought this game when it came out. And so I got, you know, Tribunal and Blood Moon as they came out. If you're buying this recently, you most likely bought it on Steam, or you bought like the Game of the Year edition or something like that. There are very few differences between the version I have and the version you have. One of them is something that I will be showing you pretty much right after this quest, and it's a major difference, and I'll show it to you at that time. But I wanted to preface, you know, what we're gonna do with that, just for your information. So Fargoth's not doing much. It's really bumming me out. It is night. You can look at the nice sky. Alright, Fargoth. So he is supposed to be moving around a lot. Okay, that's that woman over there. And they give him a torch specifically so that you can see him. The thing is, like, if you're not up here, he won't do the correct scripting path that lets you complete this quest. So you have to actually stay up here and just kind of watch him. And there's a couple quests like this. This is actually sort of like a weird, almost like a tutorial quest to like different scripting paths. Because like this is a very easy early quest to get and do. So let's look at. We have over 1,000 gold, so we can afford to buy some better things, and I probably will do that before I head out. So here comes Fargoth. This is definitely him. He's the guy, the non-guard with a torch. So what's he up to? Where is he going? He's over here at this wall. He's coming a little bit towards the lighthouse. Okay. Huh. He's coming way down here towards the lighthouse. Let's note the time. So it's 10 p.m. So maybe earlier it was just too early. Where is he going? Okay, Fargoth. Going over by this rock here, huh? Maybe that's his hiding spot. Where's he going? Okay. Could it be more obvious? He just walked into the middle of a lake. I think that's his hiding spot. We don't even need to watch anymore. That's pretty much like, I don't know, a smoking gun. Nobody would walk into a lake. And he's sneaking too. Look at him. Look at the little guy. What's up, Fargoth? Ah.
This is a wondrous encounter.
He's saying he force kicked us out because he was sneaking around. What's going on in this hollow tree stump here? Here's the engraved ring of healing. Here's a lockpick, journeyman's lockpick, and 300 gold. Take. Okay, now here's the dilemma. You can just keep the gold for yourself. You never have to go talk to that guy again. And if you're just out to get gold, that's definitely what I recommend. Not going back to talk to this guy, because all it does is really finish the quest, and he takes a bunch of your gold. I'm going to finish the quest, but just bear it in mind that you don't have to. Hi. So basically all that he did was he took 300 gold and gave me 100 gold back. So I actually just lost 200 gold and gained a little bit of disposition with this guy, which is basically useless. So, you know, he's nice and all that he gave us a little bit of money, but you could just never talk to him again and keep the gold. So, anyway, we got the engraved ring of healing back. We gave it to him and now we stole it back. That's how cool we are. Alright. Now. Hi there, Fargoth. Don't bother trying to rob me. Oh, I love that guy. Never talk to him about this, by the way. That will lower his disposition. So don't do it. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the next thing that I'm gonna be doing. I mentioned a few minutes ago that I have an older version of this game, and what that means is that it will a newer version of the game won't let you even access the tribunal content until after you are level 6. But in the original version, you didn't matter what level you were. And the reason this is important is because the way you access the tribunal content is in this manner. You rest out in the wilderness, and every time you rest, I'm gonna turn off autosave here because that's kind of bugging me. Okay, and every time you rest, you have a chance of being attacked.
There is no escape.
By this guy. It's a pretty dangerous fight at the beginning of the game. For a new player, like this guy could easily kill you if I didn't know he was coming. And so that's why they changed it to being level 6. So if you're playing this on your Steam version, you should be alright. This guy, you'll be level 6 by the time you fight him. He does scale with you, but by that time you'll have a kind of bearing and you'll understand how to play. So he gives you tons of pretty good light armor, and he also looks really cool. So that just happened, and that is the trigger that lets me go to Tribunal. I like to deal with that right away so that I never have to deal with fighting those guys again. And I do that just because I find them to be pretty... They become increasingly difficult. The more that attack you,
To what do I owe the honor, Red
the
Guard?
more difficult they are. And I believe, I'm not positive about this, but I believe on the newer versions of the game, there's a limit on how many will attack you per level or something. But in this game, in this version, they'll just keep coming at you until you turn off the tap. And the way you turn off the tap is talk to a guard. And he says, "You've been attacked by assassins. From your description, sounds like the work of the Dark Brotherhood. I'm not sure who you angered, but stay away from me. I suppose this should be officially reported, though. Speak to Apelles, Macius, and Ebethard about this matter." Now, I believe that in order to stop the attacks, you actually have to talk to this guy. I'm not 100% sure. Generally, what I do is I talk to that guy, and then I go all the way to just the tribunal area. That will definitely stop the attacks. And it's not very difficult to do once you find that guy. So I recommend doing that anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna do that right now, but I'm gonna do that next video, and I'll show you the early area in Tribunal. Now, for the rest of this video, we're going to go into this cave. And this is like the newbie dungeon of the game. It's very good to start out with. I'm gonna do this. Save here. Always want to save. And I will rest for an hour just so I can get my stamina back. Now, as you see, I got attacked again. It's real great. You have a fairly high percentage chance of being attacked. So, yeah, you see why you want to go to Tribunal. You want to shut these attacks off as fast as possible, because in the wrong situation, this could really mess you up. Luckily, I've only been attacked when I right at max health, but I'm gonna get a lot of money off of him. So anyway, now this is a bandit cave. So what that means is all of the people you'll see in these places will attack you on sight. So this is the first kind of challenge you'll face if you play the game. Now notice how much easier she is than those assassins I just killed. And there's a slave key. And we're going to continue on. And if you try to rest when there's enemies nearby, you're not able to. So I actually wanted to rest. Well, okay. This next guy is a mage, so you want to be aware of that. Generally with mages, you try to just dodge them.
Die, fetcher.
Till you can get in close and just kill them. And in this situation, this is real bad. We took him down. Now we want to use our Hearth Heal spell. I can't really risk resting. And the lower your endurance is, the lower this percentage chance is. And that's exactly what this is. 61% chance of this working. So I failed the spell twice, so I have no chance of using it. Thank goodness for these restore health potions I just got. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble. Wherever they are. Okay. So the way you use it is you just drag it to your guy and use it automatically. Let's loot this guy. I have enough. I'm actually running out of space to loot stuff, so I'm gonna probably take care of that next time I go to the. So, this woman here is the last standing. She has throwing stars. So I like to close in on her and kill her. All right. Now we have cleared out this area, and we're free to just loot this and use this as a little base if we want. There's some areas that are like kind of cool hidden over here. You can use the slave key, and there's lots of little areas underneath the water, but in general, I'm pretty sure we've cleared out this whole cave. I don't think there's anything else in here. Here we go, we gotta dive a bit. Here's a little secret area. So we have to line up with this thing here. Get up. Man, this is a pain in the butt. Okay, get up there. Yep, alright, great. We're on this small little ridge here. A friendly neighborhood rat. They're real easy. Don't worry too much about them. And here's a skeleton. He had some netched leather pauldrons and some monies. Now, I'm running out of encumbrance, which means that once I go above this 300, I won't be able to move. So I'll start having to drop stuff. I don't know if I'll need to do that. Yeah. So usually I start to look for things that weigh a lot that are worth very little. So for example, a bottle or 3. They weigh a pound and they're worth almost nothing. So there we go. And that was just a little hidden area of this cave, and there's a lot of loot in this cave. It should really like last you a while if you play your cards right. And the final thing we're gonna do in here, I'm not gonna bother looting the rest of this cave right now because I'm almost out of space. But I'm gonna free these slaves. We have the slave key. We let them go free. And doing that is useful because basically...
Yes, honored guest.
Basically you'll get like little bonuses the more slaves you free. So anytime you're able to, you should try to free these slaves, and you can take these, and I always like to take these and give them to certain characters, but that only works really well with mods. So anyway, Addamasartus. I'm going to show you where all the loot is just for your reference. There's really not a ton in this place. It's mostly in these crates. There's also this Addamasartus slave key here in case you didn't get one off that woman. Here's a barrel here. Usually has stuff in it. Here we have... ooh, that's actually good. Scroll there. nice exclusive restore speed that's worth a lot of money. You don't really need that. Iron left pauldron. I think I have a right pauldron, right? So yeah, that's useful. We're gonna take that. And let's drop some shoes or something. Still over encumbered. Let's drop more shoes. Okay. I lied. I thought I wasn't planning on, you know, looting a lot of this stuff, but I saw some stuff that I actually could use, so I'm doing it. Moon sugar. These are basically drugs, and anybody who like is a law-abiding merchant won't buy this off of you. I know how to sell it though, so I'm gonna take it. Gold. And the way you get around it is if they say they won't buy it from you, or like they won't deal with you, you just drop it and then you can pick it back up after you deal with them. It's pretty simple. You don't really need to worry too much about it. It's worth a lot, so I like to have it around. And this skooma is the same thing. This is a drug. It's basically like refined moon sugar. You could think of moon sugar as like being crack, and skooma as being like heroin or something like that. I don't know, I'm not that familiar with drugs, but that's how I think of it. Anyway, so that's the first little dungeon, and we're done in Seyda Neen. There's not much. There's one other dungeon we could go to. I probably will go back there a little later. It's a bit harder than this one, but it has better loot. But for now, I'm not gonna worry about it. And next time we're gonna do a little bit of globe trotting. We're gonna go around and collect some good, very useful, all-purpose spells, and those spells will be the core of our magic for the rest of the game, really. And I plan to also possibly start the main faction. Well, the first faction I almost always do, which in this game is the Imperial Cult. It's probably the best faction to start out with, actually, for sure. So we're gonna probably, I'm at least gonna show you where those guys are. That'll probably be next time. So I hope you'll join me, and I'm gonna sell off screen just basically all the stuff that's not a book and that's not, you know, this armor, because this armor is worth a lot, as you see, and I can sell this for full value with that guy Creeper, so we won't do that. But everything else I will sell, and I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.